Look at the step, that is incredible. Benji Marshall. Great CARR is through again. Barrett will score for St Gregory. Tony Poore, the big fan. This is the skipper, Kalis. Here goes Tahu. Tahu is away. This is Super Rugby League. Welcome to Grand Final Day on Channel 9. It is a massive day of rugby league. We've got the Sunday Roast and the Footy Show coming up. We've got the lower grade Grand Finals, the NRL decider later on tonight, all the pre-match entertainment. But right now, the best in schoolboy football. The final of the Arrive Alive Cup. The two schools, Endeavour Sports High against the Queensland champs, Keebra Park. They're playing for this trophy, and this man, Phil Gould, has been so impressed by these two great schools this year.
I have, Bossy. They played in the 2005 final. Keebra Park, if you remember, led at half-time in that game. Endeavour ran over them in the second half. So plenty of motivation for the young Queenslanders coming down here for their second cup final in a row. Let's look at how these two teams got to the final this afternoon, and we can see Endeavour impressive winners in all their games. Keebra Park, they came through a very tough Queensland division and proved that form right with a good win over St Dominic's College in the semi-final up there at Townsville. This will be a close game.
Well, let's look at the Endeavour side. They've got a number of players backing up from last year's final. Karuria Henry at fullback, Hume and Ellis on the wings, the centres Tuller and Stanley, the halves CARR and Ezekiel. Very good forward pack. Ayshford at lock, second row is Lane and Mundine, front row of Lehar, Pakatoa and their captain for Poole. They've also got depth coming off the bench. Latelli, Randall, Vare and Cherrington, coached by former first grader Jeff Hardy. One of the players to watch is a contender for the Peter Sterling medal, young Matthew Mundine.
Been very impressed with this kid. You know, he's only 16 years of age. He had a little bit of football with the St George Jersey FLEGG this year, played Matthews Cup last year. Good footwork, gets out wide. He's a big kid. He can hold the ball in either hand. He's a good goal kicker too, Bossy. He'll have a big hand in Endeavour's effort this afternoon.
Well, enough said about the effort of the Endeavour side going into today. Keebra Park, what have they got to do to win this match?
Control the ball, defend well. They didn't control the ball all that well in their semi-final. Even though they beat St Dominic's, they only completed 12 out of 25 sets. So the coach will be looking for more ball control this afternoon. Let's have a look at their lineup to take the field in the big final. And at fullback, they've got PARATA on the wings, Clark and Sullivan. In the centres, Boss and Akula. Lui is the 5'8", Macau and is the halfback, half, Wahongi, Sia and Thompson in the back row, Viger and McGill in the front row, Poland is the captain and hooker, and on the bench this afternoon, Thomas, Via, DePaul and Edwards.
And a real player to watch in their lineup, the number 6, Robert Lui. What a talent, again spotted by the Tigers.
Yeah, he came down to the Gold Coast this year. He actually came from Townsville. Good, strong ball runner. He's got a kicking and passing game, but he likes to get in there in the forwards. He's got good footwork, and he's a leading player for this side today. I really think that he's the sort of player that can give Endeavour a lot of trouble in this cup final.
And it is Keebra Park first out here at Aussie Stadium. They were the beaten finalists last year. 20 points to 10 the scoreline was then. They have had one other visit to the final back in 1987, beaten by Patrician Brothers Fairfield 21-0. Only two Queensland schools have won the title. Wavell in 2002, Palm Beach Currumbin in 2001. And look at some of the former students. Benji Marshall, a member of this side in 2003. Jamaal Lolesi, Greg Eastwood, and a former Queensland origin player in Tony Hearn. The Queensland champions, Keebra Park. And what a tradition Endeavour have to live up to. Looking to match the effort of St Gregory's way back in 1989, 90 and 91 when they won 3 straight titles. This is the 4th straight finals appearance for Endeavour. They look to equal St Gregory's achievement today. They are the powerhouse in schoolboy rugby league in New South Wales. And among their former students, stretching over many years, Justin Poore, Reece Williams, Beau champion, a former player of the year, and the late Rick Bourke, who passed away only a few months ago. Endeavour Sports High School, the defending champs. Chris James is referee for the final.
Stay behind.
And we're all ready to go. Keebra Park from right to left. PARATA with a kick-off. And hanging this one up in the breeze, and Endeavour in possession with Ryan CARR on their own 20-metre line. Great clash of the forwards today. Fred Pakatoa with a ball for Endeavour. The two extremely strong packs. 3 in that tackle for Keebra Park on their own 30 and slow to roll away.
I say move.
First penalty to Endeavour Sports High.
And in this schoolboy competition, only 25 minutes each way, so there's no time to feel your way. You've got to get into the action. And Endeavour with the first penalty of the game, get a great opportunity to go on the attack.
Here I am, number 3, winger. Hold.
And for Poore with a free kick. This is 35 metres out from the Keebra Park line, and they were spread deep, but they turn inside for Leha. Big charge from him. Looked to go right over the top of the Keebra Park defence. Now CARR's got them coming out right. Ayshford, he was dynamic in the semi-final. In fact, he was the player of the match in that Final 4 clash. For Poore, short side, they're inside the Keebra Park 20 already. And Kingi Akula comes up with a tackle. 15 metres out from the line. CARR to centre field. Pakatoa front rower showing great footwork. Tackled by Viger. Just 10 metres away from the line. Great pressure on Keebra Park early for Poole. For Ezekiel, he's got the kick. He got it through the legs of one and fielded by PARATA. He does well to get back to the field of play. He was hit hard by Mundine. And Keebra Park have possession. 5 metres away from their own line. And now PARATA with a bumping run. Great tribute to their coach Jeff Hardy, the efforts of Endeavour over the last 4 seasons. As Bodine Thompson makes a run. But he's been great for schoolboy rugby league, Jeff Hardy. They come out the right side and McGill copped a bit of a whack from the defence. He's certainly leaving a mark, some of this tackling early, as you would expect. 2 schools of this quality. Nice run down the short side by Damon Harth. Now back for Lui to go high on this kick. Not an easy day for the men at the back. That one allowed to bounce again. Falls nicely that time for Luke Hume. Links up with Karuria Henry. And now Karuria Henry, a real live wire. He's not trapped. He went right, he went left, back to the right. And tackled by Akingi Kula on the 30. Exciting young Sharks rep, the fullback for Endeavour. And Greg Lenton, great servant of schoolboy rugby league. Gee, you're going a long way back. 17th year as coach for Greg Lenton. He's been at the helm of all their success. Now for Poole. Ezekiel left, Mundine, little shuffle, takes them on. Harth went low and hit over the top. Good stuff from Viger. Mundine is probably the best offloader out there, and then he loses the ball as he gets to his feet. No drama with a marker. And he is filthy on himself, Mundine.
And Keebra Park have learned a valuable lesson out of last year's final loss to Endeavour. Endeavour have set the standard for brutal defence in the last 3 seasons, and they've carried that on this year. Mundine losing his handle on the ball there, but Keebra Park seem determined to match them in that defensive power, and also when they run the ball, they're really looking to try and bend this Endeavour side back. It's good confidence from the Queensland team.
So Keebra Park on the back of that scrum win on the 40-metre line. Kyle Boss slammed into the ground, the tackle of CARR, and now Akula. We saw glimpses of spectacular skills in the semi-final from Akula, enough to suggest that the Tigers have got it right. The talent scouts with him. He's on the left centre. He'll be played by Poland, 40 metres out from the line. Centre field with Viger. Takes it straight in there to Leha. The 2 front rowers meet head on. Viger wanted the quick play the ball, but he was on his back. 35 metres from the line, Lui across field and brings Harth into the action. They moved up quickly on him. Ellis came up, missed the tackle. Now Lui inside the Endeavour 30, last tackle. Poland shaping to keep high and then decided to go low. And Endeavour have possession with Brad Ellis. It was an odd kick.
Go.
I'd say kicking high was the better option. Sure, that was his first thought, but the chasers were stampeding a little bit, so they may have been the ones that called for a grubber kick, and he produced something in between the two.
Here's Leah running down and out to the left. Tackled by Wahongi Sia. Ready to come on as Anthony Cherrington, big young front rower. Roosters junior rep. Number of NRL clubs represented in this Endeavour side. Not just the Sharks or the Roosters, there's a few Dragons out there as well. Front rower Leha's with the Tigers. Kick downfield from Ezekiel, he's one of the Roosters. Fielded by PARATA, he's one of the Tigers, playing for Keebra Park. And back to the 40-metre line. So tight opening, as Gus said in the intro. Keebra Park led at half-time in last year's decider, but failed to post a point in the second half. Kyle Boss slipped into the tackle there. He fell almost into the knees of Pakatoa.
I like this dummy half work they're doing, though. In the early tackles, they're running from dummy half to try and bend Endeavour back so that their big forwards can't gang tackle. Then they try to come in later. They've lost the ball here. But compared to last year's final, I think Keebra Park have come here with a plan today. And the dummy half running is being very effective.
Kingi Akula was evasive, but then loses the ball at the finish. Two getting across to the tackle, CARR over the top.
Heads in.
15 metres inside the Endeavour half. And Ezekiel scoops it up from the scrum base. CARR with it. Tackled well by McCowie. He was looking for a quick play the ball. Well, he's got away with it. But he was awfully quick in looking to play the ball. PARATA has a bit to say about it. Up he gets it. I suppose it's fair enough. He made contact with a man trying to play the ball.
No doubt about that. It was a second effort there from PARATA.
And a big line finder making use of the breeze for Poore. The charge comes from Cherrington. Gets them inside the 20, Endeavour.
Like this kid.
He's been good in every match. Hasn't always been coming off the bench. Now Pakatoa, 10 metres out from the line for Poore. Ezekiel, CARR, he plays 5/8 here. He's played hooker in the jersey fleck for the Sharks this year. 10 metres out from the line for Poore, acting half, up to the right, Mundine. Takes them on, front on. Hit front on by half. Held up by Viger. Still looking to offload. Away for Poore. Right on the goal line for Poore is held up. It is desperate times right now for Keebra Park. Looking to prevent first points being scored. Ezekiel let it hit him in the legs. Now he's lost control. Scooped up by Poland. He tries the Benji step. Jumps in the air and Keebra Park back in possession.
So unlucky not to score there, Endeavour. It was good second phase play created by Mundine. There was the tackle close to the line with Poland just short. And here's a high shot we've just got a penalty for, which really there's nothing in that. It's a bit of a standing grapple tackle, that one, but a bit of a relieving penalty here for Keebra Park.
And managing to find the line 41 metres out from the Endeavour line.
Hold here.
They're here to play the Queenslanders, Rossi, I can tell you.
Absolutely, and their form has been terrific through the qualifying rounds. It's quite a resume they've put together. Some of the victories they've had over the likes of Palm Beach, Currumbin and St Brendan's, outstanding Queensland schools, and then their semi-final win over St Dominic's. Set up in the first half. Lui goes across field, links up with Kenny Edwards. And Edwards thrown down there by Cherrington. He's fired up since coming on. Lui, step off the left that time into lane. And Mundine wrapped up 10 metres out from the line. Now it's over to Endeavour to have to defend their own goal line. And offloading, Poland, big dummy left. Back right, Lui. Out it comes, McCowie inside, PARATA hit over the top. Cherrington low down over the top was Ayshford. McCowie with it at a dummy half for Keebra Park. It's forced back by Karuria Henry. Great defence by Endeavour on the last. And a change-up.
Marcus square. Play the ball.
Oh, wee.
Well, it's just edge of your seat stuff.
Good
being
football.
Played at the opposite ends of the field.
Good football from both teams. Desperate defence, some creativity in attack as Endeavour now. Up the middle of the ruck.
And it is Tuller. Big Seti Tuller gets over halfway. Chased by Hearn of the Keebra Park side. They managed to make the tackle through a cooler. Still play on for Endeavour. Ezekiel overlap. Out for Lane. Sprinting for the corner. Now for Stanley. Steps inside Lui. Got it away to Hume and put down. Poland comes up with the ball. That is scrambling defence at its very best.
You're in the negative. We're going to play a knock on here, Endeavour.
They got all their players back on side somehow from a bust deep inside Endeavour's half.
Well, it was a great run by Tuller. Out of dummy half, there was nothing really on. They'd been defending, and he had no support either. They were back cheering him from the other side of halfway. But they stormed up into possession. Lane was able to get a pass away here on the outside to chase Stanley. And at the last minute, Stanley gets one. Hume can't grab hold of it. But look at all the Keebra Park defenders there. As Vossi said, they all scrambled back quickly.
Righto, heads in.
Desperation stuff. Really good.
So the knock on against Hume, and Keebra Park have possession. And again another run for PARATA. Junior Kiwi rep last year. And now with Kyle Boss. This link has been very successful for the West Tigers with Keebra Park. Young blokes across from New Zealand. You saw the story on the Footy Show last Sunday. It is quite a success story indeed. And these young blokes come across on their own, many of them, without their families. Move country, come over here to try and make it in the National Rugby League and get a great education at the same time.
That's great stuff. And even Robert Lui, I mean, the player we highlighted before the game, he's from Townsville. Spotted by the West Tigers, brought down to the Gold Coast this year. It's his first year with the school, but he's had a great season as well.
And now Endeavour, Kururia Henry away for Cherrington. Good fend on Boss. And then brought the winger into play, Nathan Sullivan, having to hang on there with Wahongi Sia. There is tremendous skill on show here. And now away for Pakatoa. Able to offload. Through the gap goes Lane. He's inside the 30. The first try is coming. Ryan CARR will score it. Big bust from Brett Lane, who we saw in the centres this time last year. Well, he showed his speed there. And Ryan CARR scores the try. One of the Sharks reps in this Endeavour side, 4-0.
This has been the problem with Keebra Park. When they turn the ball over, they haven't regrouped as quickly. And this is the second set of 6 in a row where from deep inside their own half, Endeavour have moved the ball and been able to find space. Tremendous work there by Lane. Good support play by CARR, but it was Lane lurking out wide, throws the dummy, races into space and nicely prepares the 2-on-1 for his 5'8" to back up on the inside and open the scoring. Good counter-attack there from the Endeavour side.
Well, if you could find fault in the Endeavour side this year, it's been they haven't been able to find a first-choice goal kicker. Today, Chase Stanley takes over the duties. I think he's the 4th kicker we've seen this year from right in front. He converts. It is 6-0. Tim Sheens, Tigers coach, watches on. Endeavour over Keebra Park in the Arrive Alive Cup final. And back with the action, Keebra Park down by 6-0. And again, that breeze holds the kick up and it almost falls into no man's land. Ryan CARR had a juggle on the way down. And Endeavour have the ball. They've brought Luke Latelli on. He will prove the depth. Watch this take again of Ryan CARR, having just scored the try. So often you see an error come, and it was the try scorer. He showed us his juggling skills. And now Latelli, we saw him score a hat-trick earlier this year, coming off the bench. Certainly good enough to be in probably any schoolboy starting side.
Very dangerous, particularly when the players get tired at the back end of each half, and that's where Jeff Hardy used him, gets him onto dummy half, and he just eager beavers around the middle waiting for the offload.
Latelli's one of the Roosters junior rep players. Kick's got it over the head of PARATA, and PARATA's going to watch this one go dead in goal. Got the in-goal judges, you can see, right of screen, for the Arrive Alive Cup final to help with all the close calls in goal. Arrive Alive, you've kept in touch with all the information through the year and the great competitions they've had running. They ran their Journalist of the Year, who's been reporting on the match here today.
Skipper.
Open to all students across New South Wales and Queensland. And restart from the 20-metre line. Tui Vea onto the field. He gets his first touch and he pretty much gets cleaned up. Tui Vea will remember his first touch in the final.
And this is what Endeavour are famous for over the last 4 years. Their 4th final in a row has been built on crunching defence like that.
I know we like to walk down memory lane, but you see, you go back 10 years in schoolboy footy, you didn't have reserve players the quality that we see now coming into the match. You saw the tackle from Cherrington on Vea. Players like Latelli, the depth just wasn't there in schools. Trouble at the moment, Bodie Clark. Wasn't a vicious tackle by any means.
That's Pakatoa, a little bit clumsy with the left arm over the top. They just caught him. He was looking for the shoulder and knocked him on the chin a little bit, just shook him up.
16.
No penalty coming.
16! 16! Tackle 3.
Bodie Clark will play it 9 metres inside his own half. One of the 16-year-olds in this match that we're seeing today. Swarming defence there. Latelli was looking to wrap up the ball on Leo Viger. Now Lui. He's itching to really put his stamp on the match. McCowie, good offload.
That was a beautiful pass from Lui there, the cut-out pass.
Boss plays it for Lui. Now Poland tried a little chip, deflected off the shoulder. And in fact, they're going to rule knock on against Endeavour.
He's saying the second grab at it knocked it on. The first one was more of a charge down. Looks like Pakatoa, the big fella, got his body in front of the first kick. Now that's not a knock on. Now in reaching back for it, he says he'll drag it forward towards the opposition goal line. And fair enough, the referee's got a good view of that. He can see that.
Heads in. Down.
6-0. Endeavour leading. Keebra Park. Lui decides to have a run. Lui just slices through. The play to watch in the Keebra Park side lives up to expectations. Robert Lui, a sensational talent, does it all himself for Keebra Park. 6 points to 4.
Brilliant stuff from the 5'8". As I said, 16 years of age from Townsville. First year at Keebra Park, sent down there by the West Tigers. Warren McDonald, I think, was the player, or the player at the West Tigers who identified him first. But just big and strong, good fend, got in between two defenders and races around for the levelling score. And this will do Keebra Park's confidence the world of good. Robert Lui, well done.
PARATA gets his first kick of the day. Just a fraction inside the 10-metre line for a 6-all scoreline. That's what we're looking at. And the Arrive Alive Cup final. Keebra Park coach Greg Lennon happy with what he's seeing. The final living up to what we thought would unfold here today. 6-all scoreline. Two great rugby league schools here, head-to-head. Rematch of last year's final. And it's like unsettled business. Now Nathan Sullivan. He fell low into the tackle. Cherrington over the top. He's done a lot of heavy work. There's one man you won't want to be running at. Back to the 30-metre line. Played by Boss. Poland, Viger, very strong for them, leading the forwards for Keebra Park. And now push back the drive, Lehar and Latelli.
Stand square.
32 metres out from their own line. Keebra Park good tackle there on half. That one from Latelli. Now back, Lui got a bad ball and then had to rush to get the kick in. He did well.
Give 10.
Robert Lui. And then put down on the wing by Brad Ellis. This will be a knock-on against Endeavour. Inside the 30.
Huge result here for Keebra Park. Endeavour tried to pick up the pace of the game with their defence, did very well. But unfortunately, Brad Ellis has dropped that ball, a simple one, straight to him.
All heads in.
Confident Brad Ellis will be able to make up for that young boy from Mungundai. Playing here in the final stage. Keebra Park, 21 metres out. And Lui, little mousetrap play for PARATA to take a run. Gets tackled 10 metres out from the line, then crawls ahead for another couple of metres. Lui acting half, just takes a run at them. Karuria Henry front on with Zoe Lehar. Now look at this ruck play. Through the centre comes Viger. He loses the ball. Well, he got over it. Was beautifully done to get as far as the goal line. But the critical moment, the forcing of the ball comes unstuck.
Oh, I love the old set play. The crisscross was something up the middle, right close to the line, but couldn't quite get it there. That was a blast from the past. Haven't seen one of those tap kicks since the 1970s at Penrith, Rossi.
Rossi Cale running onto a ball, dumped off by Bill Ashurst. And now Endeavour back in possession, Zoe Lehar. Well, if they're underdogs coming into the match, Keebra Park, they're certainly not aware of it. Now the ball with Dean Vare. This young bloke's got a few years of schoolboy rugby league ahead of him, Vare. Another one of the 16-year-olds and a Dragons rep. Played alongside Mundine and that Harold Matthews side. Another big tackle. That came from half. He's not the biggest forward, but technically in defence, he's as good as anyone. Back for Lane, nice run. He had the left arm free. Taken down in the tackle of DePaul. Viger, Latelli now runs, cut out ball out for Stanley, close to the sideline. Cooler couldn't get him over the sideline, now Hume. Kicks back to centre field, Endeavour. I think they're offside most of the chasers. Tuller's come down with the ball, forced it back. Play on now for Mundine. Mundine gets inside the 20, tries to stand up the defence. Now has the arm free, somehow got it for Henry. He just goes for the Hail Mary pass. Mundine picks it up, intercepted by Lui. And Keebra Park back in possession. Well, that's a great way, a grandstand finish to the first half. High quality football from these two schools. A try apiece in the first half. Endeavour on the board first through 5'8" Ryan CARR. The reply was from the Keebra Park 5'8", a solo effort from Robert Lui. We go to a break on grand final day on Channel 9. Endeavour and Keebra Park 6-all in the decider in the Arrive Alive Cup. Welcome back, second half of the Arrive Alive Cup final. The defending champs Endeavour against the runners-up from last year, Keebra Park, and we're locked at 6-all. A really good first half. And Keebra Park possession to start the second, an intense defence from Latelli and Lehar driving Keebra Park back inside their 10, and now McCowie, the little halfback, is covered up there by Lehar. He's done 3 in a row to start the second half. Now he races out from marker, gets half involved in the next tackle, finished off there by Vare. Keebra Park on tackle 4, get outside their 20.
That was a good run there by Viger. They were getting bashed down there, and the big fella said, "Give it to me." Got him 15 valuable metres.
Now Lui doesn't go long, just goes high, very purposeful, putting up the bomb, fielded there by Chase Stanley. And if you're going to throw back for the bloke to put up the centre field bomb, you've got to chase it through and put all your teammates on side. You can't just stand back there and watch. And pretty much all his teammates are offside. Not much of referees, Mitch. He's had a good year, Chris James, and rewarded with the control of the final. Oh, good ball round the corner there to Mundine, that from Ayshford. Perhaps a sign of what's to come in the second half. Now Henry. Tries a little footwork there on McCowie. Now Latelli, and they are lined out deep on the right-hand side. CARR goes out for Mundine, gets a head of steam up. Gets the collision with a Keebra Park defence. Latelli, Ayshford works the right, brings them back to centre field. Stanley, big and strong, the setter. He's 10 metres out from the line. Lui has to get him low. McGill over the top. Metres from the line now. Latelli links up there with Lane. He takes a dash at them. Well handled by the defence of Thompson. Latelli, quick play short side. And the defence, Akula gets up. Gives plenty of the verbal. I think he liked that tackle.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Great tackle on Chase Stanley. The two centres eyeball each other close to the line. Good football by Endeavour. Great defence, Keebra Park. Big tackle by Akula.
Kingy Akula, the number 4. He may well yet be the match winner in this final. McCowie thrown back by the defence.
Well, it's a good battle over there because Chase Stanley's no slouch either. Both very talented young centres.
Poland with the ball, thrown down, one-handed tackle by Randall. He's come on. So all the bench players now have had some football for Endeavour. He's made another tackle, Daniel Randall. It's as if he's making up for lost time. Then he ankle tap Lui. Forced the drop ball. Well, that's the work of Daniel Randall. We talk about the depth off the bench, and the number 15 has come on. Just enthusiasm, chases them across field, makes 2 in a row, and then on the third attempt comes up with this little ankle tap on Lui, which forces the mistake.
I've said it a couple of times. In fact, I've said it often throughout the season. That's how Endeavour force the pace in a game. They force it with their defence.
CARR worked that scrum for Seni Tuller. Tuller tackled 31 metres out. Big run in the first half from this young Dragons rep player. Randall now wants a run. He's done his defence. Wanted his hand on the ball. He's a Roosters junior rep. 25 metres out from the line. Inside here for Freddie Pakatoa. And wrapped up there by Half, 20 metres away. Latelli for Brett Lane. Nice step, got past Poland. This is a big examination here for Keebra Park. Plenty of possession with Endeavour. Mundine is offloading. Mundine gets close to the line. Centimetres short of the goal line. Out to the right. Ayshford tried the kick, tried to regather, and it goes forward. They're saying line dropout, in fact. No, 20-minute restart. In-goal judge says back to the 20.
Brilliant work here by Blake Ayshford. Here's Mundine close to the line. Good step, good strength. Gets oh so close. And then a loose pass to Ayshford. He was able to catch it and get it onto his foot in the split second, but couldn't get a handle on it in the end goal. Exciting stuff.
6-all, no cheap points in this game. Teams being made to work really hard. By Cooler, now for PARATA. PARATA gets over halfway. Good run. Then loses it. He was thrown over the shoulder.
6 again.
They've got it back. That is rather fortunate for Keebra.
Saying it was stripped from PARATA's grasp.
Now Lui away this time with Bodine Thompson. He's 25 metres away from the line. Quick play the ball. Poland. McGill, the front rower. He rips into them and tackled by Randall. Another beautiful tackle. 15 metres from the line. Keebra Park stayed high. Their big opportunity. Lui goes across field. Now straightens up. Ran out of options there as Stanley made the tackle. 11 from the line. Back into centre field with Brett Thomas. 5 from the line, tackled and played for Poland. Deep as McCowie. Links up PARATA. Good defence from Ayshford. Came up on the fullback. Read it well. McCowie, last tackle. Back to Lui. Goes for the field goal. And he's hit it beautifully. Robert Lui has put his team in front. 7 points to 6. Cool head, get it now, not late in the match. Well, one thing's for sure, Endeavour weren't expecting the field goal. 7 points to 6. And McGill will come back for Keebra Park State High in half speed and then picks it up as he gets close to the line.
Well, it was a good time to take it because Endeavour weren't expecting it. He had enough time to roll a cigarette there before he kicked the ball. Was coming to put pressure on him.
Interesting turn of phrase.
They're just resorting to some dummy half running here at Keebra Park, and as a result, they're very bunched behind the play the ball. They need to spread out in case there's a turnover. This Endeavour side can spin it wide very quickly. Now they're holding a bit of better shape.
Back to halfway, put down by Viger. He's been so good for them, but that one hurts.
And that's what happens when you start to protect a lead. And I get the feeling Keebra Park are going to try and defend their way to victory with a 1-point lead. All of a sudden they become a little bit predictable as PARATA getting smashed as he runs from dummy half. A couple of dummy half runs, a couple of one-out hit-ups, and a lack of concentration turns the ball over.
Now Kururia Henry for the stats-minded. It's not the first time that Endeavour they've had a field goal kicked against them in a final. It happened 2 years ago against Blacktown, Patrician Brothers. Endeavour was able to go on and win 16-7. There would still be time for a scoreline like that to be the case here today. Here's CARR for Mundine. Great tackle again on him. They go low and very effective. It was Jimmy Poland. Latelli out to the right for Ayshford. He kicks early. He's turned them around. Bit of pressure here at the back for Keebra Park, but they do well. Only a few metres out from their own goal line, and it'll be played by Brett Thomas.
It was good work there by Thomas. That's not easy to run backwards on a rolling ball. A lot of times you'll see them dive on it and the ball comes spilling out. But he took his time, secured possession for his team, and now Endeavour try to muscle up and force a turnover with their defence.
Kyle Boss with the ball. Gee, some of this running, there's no great gusto to it at the moment.
No, they've stopped. They've stopped thinking about their game, Keebra Park. They're thinking about the scoreboard. They're trying to hold on to a 1-point lead instead of just playing the game.
Edwards, untidy play, the ball outside the 20. Lui will kick them out of trouble. He got it away. It's pretty good off the boot. Fielded there by Bracken Kururia Henry. 25 metres out from his line. Back he comes. He's had a good match and he's tackled there by McCowie and Wahongi Sia. Been waiting for that all day. Bracken Kururia Henry to be tackled by Orlando Wahongi Sia. A lot of letters there.
You don't want it to happen too often. We haven't got enough time.
Beautiful stuff. Now Endeavour. Jeff Hardy, anxious for him. Rarely has he seen his side behind on the scoreboard. Senny Tuller with the ball. 31 metres out from the Keebra Park line. Luke Latelli, dummy half. Out for CARR. Then back on the inside, Pakatoa. If they get close enough, would they think field goal just to level up the scores? Try and take it to extra time. Vare, Karuria Henry. Tackled from behind by Boss. This is the last tackle. They will come to centre field. It's with CARR. He's in position. There's an overlap right-hand side. Ayshford with the ball. Stepped away from two. Ayshford will get to the in-goal. Ayshford, in-goal judges there. He's held up on the last. It is a changeover.
Oh, brilliant stuff from both teams. Jeff Hardy, the coach, with a big smile on his face. Blake Ayshford nearly produced the match winner with a couple of big right foot steps out on the edge and then a surge towards the line. Parata's in there. Macau's in there with the defence. Lui over the top. They've held him up, and it was the last tackle, so they'll get possession back. Yeah, and look how bunched they are, Keebra Park, behind the play of the ball.
And what about the soaking up of the time, Gus? The resumption in play took quite some time. They've lost it on the first tackle. Endeavour able to come up with the ball 15 metres out. Referee Jesse James says play on. Here they come, the champs, Endeavour. They go out to the right-hand side. Leha says no, I want to go back down the hey-diddle-diddle. He's tackled 5 metres out from the line. To the left they come, Fred Pakatoa. A jump and a hop and a skip. Tackled 8 metres away from the line. Little McCowie gets in there to wrap up the ball.
They've just got to calm down here, Endeavour. It's within their reach.
Latelli, dummy half inside here for Cherrington. Cherrington has scored for Endeavour. They're in front. There's still plenty of time. It ain't over yet. But Endeavour is in front by 10 points to 7.
Like I said, they just had to calm down. Think about their football, and they came up with a set play. And when I said it was in their reach, it was certainly within the reach of the tallest player on the field. Cherrington forced the turnover with good defence. And from a set play, Latelli out of dummy half to the big to Cherrington, and the reach that I talked about gets the try. Set play, dummy, turn it up the middle, Cherrington out, and all of a sudden Endeavour are in front. Good footy.
This is how it's been all year. Rarely does one kicker get back-to-back shots. It's Daniel for Poore, the captain. Little stab hits the post. 10 points to 7. Unconverted try would win it for Keebra Park. Keebra Park with time remaining, deep off the kickoff, too deep. Oh, that has got to hurt. The in-goal judges across it. Thanks, buddy. It went 65 metres, the kick. Penalty, centre of halfway.
That's bad luck. That's just adrenaline. That's a young fella wanting to get every inch out of his kick, and he found about 6 feet too many. Young Parata, good player. That's adrenaline. That's what it can do for you. He'll learn from that.
So Endeavour, and no risk football there, not going for line, take a tap, retain possession. Take it out of the equation that you mightn't find the line with a kick. They attack now for Poole, eyes with it for Endeavour. Got past Parata, offloaded, Cherrington, there's the reach again. Anthony Cherrington scores for Endeavour. He's the tallest bloke out there. He's got the longest arms in schoolboy football, and it's certainly come in handy today. 2 tries to the front rower off the interchange. What's the game coming to?
Well, now not only is the try line within reach, but so too is the Arrival Live Cup. Because with only 2.5 minutes left on the scoreboard, Cherrington, firstly with the right hand and this time with the left hand, has scored 2 tries in the space of 3 minutes to seal the victory for Endeavour Sports High School. Disappointment, but brilliant stuff by the Endeavour team.
Over to Chase Stanley. They change kickers again. Stanley's got it from half a metre in from touch. But no pressure, really, with his team leading by 7. Here goes Chase Stanley off the boot. Oh, that is the icing on the cake. And it's a very big cake when you win 3 finals in a row. 16 points to 7 for Endeavour Sports High. Same scoreline as the final in 2004 when they beat Blacktown. There's the restart of play. This is going to be crushing for Keebra Park. They've played so well. They led by 7 points to 6 going to the final 10 of this one. For Poore was stripped of the ball. Penalty Endeavour. Keebra Park trying all they can. But only seconds remaining. If you don't mind me saying, 2 champion schoolboy sides, but only one gets to be called the champion for the next 12 months. Officially, Pakatoa got an offload. Stanley's with it. Pass was called forward. It'll be the final play of the game. I don't think this scrum will be able to pack down. The energy's just not quite there. Endeavour have got their third. 3 in a row. Only the second school in history to do it. St Gregory's College of Campbelltown did it back in 89, 90 and 91. And now Endeavour, what an achievement. They win their 3rd straight final. They have been in the last 4. And today they have beaten a gallant Keebra Park 3 tries to 1 and 16 to 7. And well done to the team and their coach Jeff Hardy. And now here from Peter Sterling with one of the major announcements on Cup Final Day.
Gives me great pleasure to announce that this year's Peter Sterling medal winner for our best and fairest in the Alive Cup competition goes to Matthew Mundine.
An outstanding young player, just 16 years of age, Matt Mundine, Dragons junior rep, and an Australian under-15 merit team member last year. And the cup handed over to the captain of Endeavour, Daniel Fapuli, their hooker. What a moment for these young men. We look forward to seeing more of them in the future. Thanks for your company right through the year. Our thanks also to the Motor Accidents Authority, the Arrive Alive Cup, tremendous support of Schoolboy Rugby League. Stay tuned on Channel 9. We are just getting started. This is Grand Final Day.